I haven't cleaned the sideboard in a month or maybe two, since the world got heavy and I lost the scent of you. There's a thin gray veil on the wood and the glass, watching the ghost of our chemistry pass. I took my index finger and I wrote out the line of your name right next to the version of mine. I'm just tracing our names in the dust today, watching the colors of our spirit decay. A temporary record on a hollowed out shelf, a portrait of you and a ghost of myself. It's easy to erase and it's easy to blur, losing the woman that I thought that we were. The particles are dancing in the mid-afternoon light, like the static on the screen in the middle of the night. We used to be polished, we used to be bright, before the first silence of the porch light wire. Now we're just a smudge on a dirty side surface, searching for a meaning in a localized purpose. Should I wipe it all clean? Should I start it anew? But the dust is the only thing left of the you. So I'll leave the outlines and I'll leave the trace in the high definition version of this empty side space. I'm just tracing our names in the dust today, watching the colors of our spirit decay. A temporary record on a hollowed out shelf, a portrait of you and a ghost of myself. It's easy to erase and it's easy to blur, losing the woman that I thought that Gray fingers, dull wood, tracing our names like I knew that I should. It's not a sharp sting, and it's not a new wound. It's a localized frequency that's perfectly tuned. Had it so long, it's a part of the room, like the lavender scent and the impending doom. It's got a bit of the rust and a bit of the wear, a high definition version of the empty side air. I've got an antique heartache, a vintage style blue, a permanent record of me losing you. It's polished and heavy, it's ornate and deep, a family heirloom that I'm forced to keep. It doesn't break anymore, it just sits on the shelf. An antique heartache and a ghost of myself. I touch the sharp edges and I touch the old gold in a story of sorrow that's already old. I remember when it was a fire, I remember the heat before it turned into this total defeat. Now it's just a relic, now it's just a trace of the most beautiful version of this empty side space. Would I sell it for peace? Would I trade it for new, to lose the reflection of me and of But the history is heavy, and the history is deep, in the secrets and the promises I'm forced to sleep. I've got an antique heartache, a vintage style blue, a permanent record of me losing you. It's polished and heavy, it's ornate and deep, a family heirloom that I'm forced to keep. It doesn't break anymore, it just sits on the shelf. An antique heartache and a ghost of myself. And I'm so patient. We were 98% of a beautiful thing, in a high definition version of a localized thing. We were the nearly, we were the close, in the most beautiful version of a heavy set dose. I can still see the finish, I can still see the line of the version of the future that was almost mine. It's a slow burn of almost in the back of my heart, watching the world slowly falling apart. A masterpiece, nearly a study in fast, on a love that was never intended to last. It's a lingering fire, it's a localized day, the slow burn of almost, for my own heart's sake. walk through the lobby, pay the price at the door to see the version of us that isn't anymore. Under the spotlight, behind the thick glass, watching the ghost of our history pass. The tattered up letters and the dried out rose, and the high definition version of how the wind blows. Welcome to the museum of us, my dear. The localized version of you were once here. A gallery of almost, a study in gone, as the steady on silence goes on and on. It's a beautiful tragedy, a curated pain in the museum of us, in the middle of the rain. In the corner, there's a video on a 3-minute loop, watching our potential start to thicken and droop. We were laughing in 20, we were crying in 10, searching for the how and the where and the when. I'm the only visitor, I'm the only guide, with nowhere left for my spirit to hide. Is it art or is it wreckage? Is it beauty or lost? Calculating the visual and emotional cost. I'm closing the curtains and I'm turning off the light in the museum of us through the middle of the night. Welcome to the museum of us, my dear. The localized version of you were once here. A gallery of almost, a study in gone, as the steady on silence goes on and on. It's a beautiful tragedy, a curated pain in the museum of us, in the middle of the rain. Exhibit A, the broken heart, a museum of us is falling apart. I walk to the corner to buy some more bread, trying to quiet the voice in my head. But the eyes of the strangers were like needles of light, breaking the skin of my middle night white. They're looking at my sorrow, they're looking at my loss, calculating the visual and emotional cost. Oh, the weight of being seen is a heavy sad thing, of the beautiful disaster that a dead love can bring. I wanna be a shadow, I wanna be a blur, losing the woman that I thought that we were. It's a spotlight of nothing, a glare of the gone. thing, of the beautiful disaster that a dead love can bring. I wanna be a shadow, I wanna be a blur, losing the woman that I thought that we were. It's a spotlight of nothing, a glare of the gone. The weight of being seen goes on and on. Don't look at me, I'm almost invisible. The weight of being seen is unforgivable. We were living on credit, we were living on grace, in the high definition version of this empty side space. The interest was rising, the balance was low, watching the best of our chemistry go. I knew the repo man was knocking at the door, but I didn't want to listen anymore. It was borrowed time and I returned it late, watching the vibration of a localized fate. I spent every minute like it wasn't a day, in the most beautiful version of a giant regret. The library's closed and the fine is too deep on the borrowed time. I wasn't allowed to keep. I tried to extend it, I tried to renew the tattered up story of me and of you, but the pages were missing and the cover was torn. A record of a woman who was suddenly born into the reality and into the cold, in a story of sorrow that's already old. Was it worth the price? Was it worth the sting of the beautiful disaster that a dead love can bring? I'm checking the ledger and I'm checking the loss, calculating the visual and emotional cost. It was borrowed time and I returned it late, watching the vibration of a localized fate. I spent every minute like it wasn't a day, in the most beautiful version of a giant regret. The library's closed and the fine is too deep on the borrowed time. I wasn't allowed to keep. Overdue debt is high, borrowed time and a final goodbye. The traffic is a roar, the sirens are a sting of the beautiful disaster that a dead love can bring. The neon buzzing, the people are fast. In a world that was never intended to last, I'm covering my ears, I'm closing my eyes, underneath the charcoal of a digital sky. The world is too loud for my soul today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. Everything's screaming, everything's bright, in the high definition version of the porch light. I'm looking for silence, I'm looking for none. The world is too loud, and I'm finally done. I tried to find a corner, I tried to find a still, but the volume is hidden in the back of my wheel. Every conversation is a jagged edge knife, and the most beautiful version of the localized life. I'm a stationary girl in a world of the noise, searching for the ghosts of our hollowed out joys. Maybe if I wait here, the sound will just fade into the darkness that the weather has made. But the rhythm is stubborn, and the rhythm is deep in the secrets and the volume I'm forced to keep. The world is too loud for my soul today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. Everything's screaming, everything's bright, in the high definition version of the porch light. White, I'm looking for silence, I'm looking for none. The world is too loud, and I'm finally done. Turn it down, make it stop. The world is too loud, and I'm ready to drop. Carried the boxes up the narrow set stairs, past the ghost of our laughter and our unanswered prayers. I found the white veil and the suit that you wore, tossed in the corner on the cold wooden floor. The ink on the parchment is starting to fade, a record of every single promise we made. Now they're just broken vows in the attic tonight, hidden from the reach of the mid-morning light, tied up in string, gathering the gray, while the version of us starts to rot and decay. A museum of maybe, a gallery of lost broken vows in the attic at a heavy set cost. I touched the gold band that I took from my hand, a tiny reminder of a desolate land. We were gonna be kings, we were gonna the dark, broken vows without a spark. The frost is on the window, the ice is on the street, a localized version of a total defeat. I'm replaying the weeks of the not talking phase, lost in the flicker of those hollowed out days. The tree was in the corner, the lights were all dim, while I was losing the heart and the spirit of him. I'm reliving the last December today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. The cold hearted silence, the jagged edge please, and the high definition version of my shivering knees. It wasn't a Mary, it wasn't a bride, just the of a final December night. I remember the party where we didn't even speak. The architecture of us was getting so weak. We were checking our watches, we were checking the door, knowing that we didn't live here anymore. Now the snow is a witness and the snow is a ghost in the part of the winter that I hated the most. Can I skip to the spring? Can I skip to the dawn underneath the glare of a dying out sun? But the loop is a circle and the loop is a cage, the final sentence on a blood-colored page. I'm reliving the last December today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. The cold-hearted silence, the jagged edge please, and the high definition version of my shivering knees. It wasn't a Mary, it wasn't a bride, just the realism of a final December night. Snow on the ground, ice in the soul, reliving December, and I've lost control. I was driving to work, I was turning the dial, trying to be fine for a little sidewhile. Then the speakers exploded with that 80s style beat, the localized flavor of a total defeat. Forever in new ways, the singer was screaming while I was just sitting in the driveway and dreaming. The radio plays our favorite light tonight, underneath the flicker of the satellite light. A 3-minute promise that we couldn't keep, in the secrets and the memories I'm forced to sleep. It sounds so beautiful. used to sing along at the top of our lungs, back when the forever was on the tip of our tongues. Now the harmony's broken and the rhythm is wrong. Everything's playing a minor key song. It's a revenant disaster, a melodic sting, the only kind of music that a dead love can bring. Turn it up loud or just pull the plug. I'm starving for silence or a physical hug, but the melody's stubborn and the melody's deep, a record of the promises we weren't allowed to keep. The radio plays our favorite light tonight, underneath the flicker of the satellite light. A 3-minute promise that we couldn't keep. In the secrets and the memories, I'm forced to sleep. It sounds so beautiful, it sounds so true. The radio plays the fiction of you. Steady, fade out. Our favorite light is what it's about. I was walking through the terminal, I was lost in the crowd. The neon and the noise were getting so loud. Then a woman walked by in a jasmine style haze, and I was back in the flicker of our hollowed out days. It hit me like a physical, it hit me like a blow. Watching the best of our history go. It's the ghost of your perfume, a haunting style set, a permanent record of where our love went. A localized trauma in the middle of the air, reminding me exactly that you're no longer there. I'm breathing in the was and I'm breathing in the gone, as the ghost of your perfume goes on and on. I went home and I checked the bottles on the shelf, searching for a version of my own former self. I found a small glass with a silverback cap, a localized version of a domestic style trap. One little spray and the kitchen was bright with the ghost of your presence in the middle of the night. Does it ever wash out? Does it ever decay? Or does the memory stay in the charcoal and gray? I'm drowning in the fragrance, I'm drowning in the blue, in the high definition version of me losing you. It's the ghost of your perfume, a haunting style set, a permanent record of where our love went. A localized trauma in the middle of the air, reminding me exactly that you're no longer there. I'm breathing in the was and I'm breathing in the gone, as the ghost of your perfume goes on and on. Jasmine and rain, sandalwood and The clock hit the 3, and the gates open wide to the localized monsters that are living inside. You're not good enough, you'll always be alone in the high definition version of a hollowed out stone. The static is humming, the static is loud in a solitary version of a charcoal gray cloud. These are the intrusive thoughts at 3 a.m., tearing the fabric at the very last hemorrhagic disaster, a melodic sting of every single nothing that the darkness can bring. I can't turn it off and I can't turn it down. The intrusive thoughts are the only thing in town. I'm replaying the errors, I'm replaying the why. Underneath the charcoal of a digital sky, I saw your face in the pattern of the wall, waiting for the nothing and the rise and the fall. It's a chemical reaction, a neural style cage, the final sentence on a blood-colored page. Maybe if I scream, they'll go back to the deep, but I'm losing the battle and I'm losing the sleep. I'm a prisoner of habit, a student of fear, in the quietest corner of a vanishing year. These are the intrusive thoughts at 3 a.m., tearing the fabric at the very last hemorrhagic disaster, a melodic sting of every single nothing that the darkness can bring. I can't turn it off and I can't turn it down. The intrusive thoughts are the only thing in town. 3 or 2 intrusive thoughts because of you. There's a mark on the wall where the glass hit the wood, a record of a happy that we didn't do good, and a mark on my spirit that I can't even see in the black and white version of you and of me. We were soldiers of sorrow, we were rebels of pride, with nowhere left for our spirit to hide. These are the scars from a war we both lost, calculating the visual and emotional cost. No winner, no trophy, no kingdom to claim, just the high definition version of a localized shame. We burned down the bridges and we salted the ground in the scars from a war where no mercy was found. I saw you last week and I saw the defeat in the middle of the sidewalk on an empty side street. You're limping through life with a suitcase of white underneath the charcoal. of a digital sky. We were toxic and vibrant, we were jagged and wild, with the heart of a lover and the soul of a child. Was it worth the explosion? Was it worth the end? To lose the connection and to lose the best friend. I'm looking at the wreckage and I'm looking at the bone in the silverback silence of being alone. These are the scars from a war we both lost, calculating the visual and emotional cost. No winner, no trophy, no kingdom to claim, just a high definition version of a localized shame. We burned down the bridges and we salted the ground in the scars from a war where no mercy was found. Battle-worn, broken down, scars from a war in this empty town. I'm talking to the air in the kitchen side hall, listen for the vibration of the nothing at all. It's not a shouting, it's not a jagged edge plea, just a localized frequency of me being me. I'm telling the dust that I'm ready to go, watching the best of our history slow. These are the spell whispers in the middle of the night, fading at the edges of the porch like white. A low lonely music, a blue tinted hum, waiting for a feeling that's never gonna come. I'm a ghost in the heart, I'm a blur in the room. Listen to despairing whispers of impending doom. I whispered I'm tired to the empty side bed, and I heard the echo of the things that you said. The walls are too thick and the walls are too thin, a record of exactly where the losses begin. I'm a student of silence, a master of gone, as the steady on silence goes on and on. Maybe if I listen, I'll find a way out, away from the static and away from the doubt. But the volume is low and the volume is deep, and the secrets and the whispers I'm forced to keep. These are despairing whispers in the middle of the night, fading at the edges of the porch like white. A low lonely music, a blue tinted hum, waiting for a feeling that's never gonna come. I'm a ghost in the hall, I'm a blur in the room. Listen to despairing whispers of impending doom. Can you hear it? Despairing whispers is all that is left. carcass screaming like a ghost in the wall. I'm staring at the ceiling, waiting for the fall. My lungs are like bellows, moving on their own. Inside a body made of hollowed out stone. I didn't ask for the morning, I didn't ask for the light. I'm just a terminal version of the middle of the night. And I wanna die, but I'm still breathing today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. The heart keeps on beating, a rhythmic mistake in the high definition of a permanent ache. I'm a passenger here in a vessel of gone as a steady on silence goes on and on. I went to the kitchen and I made a hot tea, but I couldn't find the person that I thought was me. Just a biological habit, a physical chore, while the everything is dying on the bathroom floor. The air is too heavy and the gravity's high underneath the charcoal of a digital sky. It's a cruel style mercy, a jagged edge grace to be forced to inhabit this empty side space. I'm checking the pulse, but I'm hoping for none in the middle of a battle that nobody won. And I wanna die, but I'm still breathing today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. The heart keeps on beating, a rhythmic mistake in the high definition of a permanent ache. I'm a passenger here in a vessel of gone as the steady on silence goes on. Inhale, exhale. The machine is too strong, still breathing where I don't belong. The blankets are laid and the mattress is stone. In the silverback silence of being alone, I try to sit up, but the planet said no. Watching the best of our history go. The barometric's high and the oxygen's thin, a record of exactly where the losses begin. Oh, the gravity is too strong today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. It's pulling at my shoulders, it's pulling at my knees, and the high definition version of my shivering please. I'm pinned to the floor. through the middle of the night. I watched a bird fly past the window side glass, watching the ghost of my happiness pass. How does it stay up? How does it breathe in a world that is asking me finally to leave? The earth is a magnet, the earth is a cage, the final sentence on a blood-colored page. Maybe if I wait here, I'll sink through the wood into the nothing like I know that I should. But the pressure is steady and the pressure is deep, in the secrets and the gravity I'm forced to keep. Oh, the gravity is too strong today, watching the colors of my spirit decay. It's pulling at my shoulders, it's pulling at my knees, and the high definition version of my shivering please. I'm pinned to the floor in a localized fight. Gravity is too strong through the middle of light, going on, going down, heavy heart. Gravity is too strong and I'm falling apart. Opened the glove box and I found the old chart, a localized blueprint of a breaking down heart. The red ink is circled on the park and the pier. The high definition version of you were once here. Every street is a memory, every bridge is a why, underneath the charcoal of a digital sky. It's the map of where we used to go, my darling, watching the shadows of our history snarling. The coffee shop's closed and the theater is dark, in the quietest corner of the localized park. I'm a tourist of us, I'm a runner of them, searching for the how and the where and the when. I try to follow the route to the edge of the town, watching the walls of my kingdom come down. I pass by the house where we had our first fight, a domestic style signal in the middle of the night. Now the landmarks are ghosts and the signs are all wrong. Everything's playing a minor key song. Either burn the whole paper or just lose the way in the great tinted version of a final Saturday. But the roots are all deep and the roots are all stone, in the silverback silence of being alone. It's a map of where we used to go, my darling, watching the shadows of our history snarling. The coffee shop's closed and the theater is dark, in the quietest corner of the localized park. I'm a tourist of us, I'm a runner of them, searching for the how and the where and the when. You are here, but you're not. The map of us is all that I've got. closed my eyes and I fell through the floor into a world that I don't wanna see anymore. There were hallways of shadow and gardens of glass, watching the ghost of my happiness pass. The sun was a fiction, a silverback lie in a high-definition version of a dream-state sky. I've got cold dreams and quiet moons tonight, fading at the edges of the porch light white. A landscape of ice in the back of my head, living in the world of the things that you said. The silence is silver, the silence is deep, in the secrets and the nightmares I'm forced to keep. I saw you standing at the edge of the world, doing the things that I knew that you should. But your face was a blur and your hands were like mist in the localized version of a memory kiss. I woke up shivering, I woke up alone, with a heart that was made of a hollowed out stone. Don't wake me up or don't let me sleep. The water is rising and the water is deep. I'm drifting in the violet, I'm drifting in the gray, until the sun comes to wash the moon away. I've got cold dreams and quiet moons tonight, fading at the edges of the porch light white. A landscape of ice in the back of my head, living in the world of the things that you said. The silence is silver, the silence is deep, in the secrets and the nightmares I'm forced to keep. Frost on the pillow, night blooming pain, cold dreams and quiet moons, driving me insane. I thought we were building a palace of gold, in a story of forever that will never grow old. I saw the white picket and I saw the bright sun, but the blueprints were empty and the damage was done. I took off the glasses and I saw the decay of a high-definition version of a final Saturday. These are shattered illusions, a glass-bottom light reflecting the goodbye in the midwinter sky. The mirror is broken and the image is through, in the black and white version of me losing you. at the wreckage, I'm looking at the bone in the silverback silence of being alone. Either fix the vision or just close the eye. Underneath the charcoal of a digital sky, the truth is a fire, and the truth is a sting. The only kind of music that a dead love can bring. These are shattered illusions, a glass bottle lie, reflecting the goodbye in the midwinter sky. The mirror is broken and the image is through. In the black and white version of me losing you, I'm stepping on the shards with my bare metal feet in the middle of a total and localized defeat. No more magic, the spell is broken. Shattered illusions, and nothing is spoken. I'm not gonna shout it, I'm not gonna plead in a high definition version of a localized need. I'm folding the linen, I'm closing the door on the version of us that isn't anymore. I'm putting on the black dress, I'm keeping the peace, waiting for the spirit to finally find its release. I'm just dying with dignity, walking away into the charcoal of a final Saturday. No histrionics, no jagged edge, please, just the slow motion sink into my shivering knees. A beautiful tragedy, a silverback thing, dying with dignity without a best friend. You looked at me softly, you looked at me kind, a localized version of a history mine. We were a mountain, we were gold, and a story of sorrow that's already old. I'm checking the pulse, but I'm hoping for done underneath the glare of a dying out sun. Don't make it messy and don't make it loud. I'm just a smudge in a charcoal gray crowd. I'm taking the exit, I'm taking the gun as a steady on silence goes on and on. I'm just dying with dignity, walking away into the charcoal of a final Saturday. No histrionics, no jagged edge, please, just the slow motion sink into my shivering knees. A beautiful tragedy, a silverback then, dying with dignity without a best friend. Rest in peace, the fire is out. Dying with dignity is what it's about.